Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And, of course, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we will be chatting live to former Congressman Peter King. That is coming up at the bottom of the hour. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me live right now, 800-848-9222. We'll get to Delaney Hall in a moment at that ICE detention center. But over the weekend, they had a surprise visitor, none other than border czar Tom Homan himself. And Homan says he ate the same food the detainees eat and did the same things that they did and did not see anything wrong with the facility. As anyone with common sense would probably reach the same conclusion. 800-848-9222. But guess who was making the media rounds again today? Former First Lady Jill Biden, pushing her book yet again, declaring she did not see what we all witnessed, that the entire world witnessed, that President Biden was past his prime, let's put it that way, and she says she didn't see it until that night on the debate stage with President Trump when she thought that he was having a stroke.
And he'd given so much of himself, and to see you even saying, like, I thought he was having a medical episode, I was concerned. Was there any part of you that went into protection mode of like, Joe, you can't keep doing this. Like, they're taking so much from you.
But the doctors told me he was fine. I'm not a doctor. I mean, I am a doctor.
Yes, you are a doctor.
So Jill Biden, of course, education, a doctorate and so on. I'm not getting into that, but she's not a medical doctor. She says that she didn't see what the entire world, what we all happened to witness. 800, all I can do is laugh, folks. 800-848-9222. I want you to listen to border czar Tom Homan. I love this guy. Why? He's a straight shooter. He doesn't back down. Delaney Hall, right in our neck of the woods in Newark, New Jersey. You have the mayor there declaring that you can't be out at nighttime and so on. All of this nonsense going on. Those professional agitators harassing police officers. Utterly disgusting. Holman says he was there over the weekend and he made this comment on Fox News.
But we got to remember what started all this. You got Democratic lawmakers on Memorial Day making false allegations about the facility, about the food, the medical care, hunger strikes. I went into that facility. I went to the medical. I went to outdoor recreation, indoor recreation. I even made a surprise visit this weekend and walked into the cafeteria and ate the same meal that the detainees around me were eating. And I made sure my tray equaled their tray. I had spaghetti and meat sauce. I had beans. I had green beans. I had bread and rolls. I had drinks. I had dessert. The food was good. It's all a false premise. There was never a hunger strike. The congressman said, "Oh, people are on hunger strikes." No, they weren't. They may not be eating in the cafeteria, but what I found out, they're ordering food from the commissary and eating in their cells. So there wasn't any abuse. It's not inhumane conditions. I went to the entire facility. I ate the same meal they ate. That facility is well run, and the governor keeps saying she's going to keep raising hell if that facility shuts down. Well, I got news for the governor. That facility isn't going anywhere. We're going to enforce the law. We're going to detain people, and we're going to remove people. Matter of fact, a lot of the people in that facility we couldn't release because they're mandatorily detained by federal statute. So we couldn't release them if we even wanted to. But we're not going to release any of them. Everybody in that facility I have ascertained is legally being detained. Legally being detained. Many of them, again, mandatory detention. Many of them criminals.
Governor Mikey Sherrill. Did you hear that? Can you hear me now, Governor? 800-848-9222. You know what's so sad, but yet at the same time amusing about this? This same facility, the same exact facility was in operation under Obama, right? The Obama administration, Delaney Hall. Listen to Harold Ford Jr., also on Fox News.
I would urge Democrats, if indeed the governors around the country believe there's something inhumane, something illegal happening in these detention centers, the Democratic governors ought to all come together, fly to Washington, go to the White House, stand outside the White House and say, we would love a meeting with the president. Here's what we want. Can you give us access to these centers? We can go through and have the Rosannas and others walk through with cameras so we can see how people are being treated, what the conditions are, and remind people that President Obama, that place was open during the Obama administration. If there's something illegal going on here, we should get to the bottom of it. But for protesters to be outside engaging in this kind of violence, imparting these kind of threats to federal officials. I said it when people went to school board officials during COVID, when they were outside the parking lot. That was wrong. Democrats, we have to say this is wrong. And if we believe something illegal is happening, then ask the president, put a letter on his desk. We want to go into this place so we can go out and tell our people everything is fine in there. And we've got to let the system work its way through. Otherwise, we're going to continue to see this kind of violence and this kind of almost anarchy in our cities across the country.
And so the bottom line, folks, is Governor Mikey Sherrill went to the facility unannounced, was not able to get in. She should not have been able to get in. She declared that ICE was at fault here and that they were starting the violence. Therein lies the problem. Your telephone calls. Let's begin with Carlotta, line 4, Rhode Island. Young lady, what's on your mind?
Hi, I'll make it brief because I'm trying to shut you off on Alexa and I'm not having any luck.
Okay.
When
Hi,
Willie
Alexa.
Geist interviewed Jill this morning, he mentioned the ballroom being built with taxpayer money. And so many people have played that tape and nobody has corrected him. So if it comes up during your program,
it's not going to come up. But I don't understand why you're even raising this. But what's the point you're trying to make?
Well, the ballroom is not being raised with taxpayer money. It's being donated by private funds. But on national TV, when he interviewed Jill, he referenced the ballroom that was being built with taxpayer money, and nobody corrected him.
Again, I don't know why you're using this show to correct what was stated incorrectly on another network. But okay, fine. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Sandra in New Jersey, line 5. Sandra, what's on your mind?
Oh, hi, Dominic. I saw Tom Homan speak last night about what you just brought up. If anyone, I'm going to believe it's going to be him. And I really wish that Mikey Sherrill had gone there quietly, get permission to come one day unannounced so they don't make it perfect that day. And she could see for herself, even though she probably wouldn't admit it. But I believe that place is fine, and I believe Tom Homan. And then regarding
let me just say this, Sandra, and this is going to sound cruel. I don't care what that facility is. All I know is that taxpayer dollars are being used to keep that place open. And those are billions of dollars that should go to Americans. So why should that be my top priority? Because Democrats are always focusing on illegals or criminals. I'm focused on tax-paying Americans. Go ahead, Sandra.
No, Dominic, you make a great point. But since we have to deal with the other side complaining all the time, I just want to know on our side that we're doing things properly. And I wish, Dominic, they had a video in there for all of us to see, because I checked, they don't have videos for us to see how it is in there every day. Wouldn't it be nice if we could see for ourselves?
I guess it would be nice, but I really don't care. It's not my top priority. I don't understand why it's a top I mean, I get the politics of it, but thank you for the call, Sandra. I don't understand why it's a top priority for Democrats. Why don't you focus on the people that got you elected? How about that? How about Americans? How about the people that pay your salary? I'm sick of listening to this song and dance about illegals. They don't belong here. It really is that simple. Bye-bye. You're the weakest link. Get out, if I can be more direct. Let's see here. Let's go to Yehuda, line 2, New Jersey. What's on your mind?
Yeah, what's on my mind is the reason why they care about this illegal issue, because, again, it goes against Trump, and they're just trying to disrupt. But my question is like this. Where is the state police or FBI shutting down these protests? They're not First Amendment. First Amendment doesn't cover anarchy and damage. It covers, or intimidation for that matter.
Well, they have been shutting down. I mean, maybe you haven't seen the news in the last news cycle. They have shut it down. Now, I'm sure it's going to pop back up, possibly as early as tonight. But the state police, they have shut it down.
Good. And Dominic, also thank you for being a wonderful friend to the Jewish community.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I don't see it as me doing anything. I see it as me standing up for the truth and what's right. And sometimes the truth is not pretty. For example, the New York City mayor's race and a certain candidate. But, we just have to tell the truth. And that's what I try and do every single day. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Nikki, line 4, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Nikki?
Yeah, I guess in the morning we had Joe Biden on another show talking about the ballroom.
Okay, Nikki, what's the point you're trying to make?
It's not taxpayer money, Governor. It's
okay.
not.
All right. Go tell it to your mother. How about that?
Of the votes.
Yes. Thank you. Hey, Nikki, are you still there? Oh, why do you hang up? I want to ask you, why do you make an ass of yourself doing Mr. Sliwa's bidding? That's what I want to know. Mr. Sliwa wouldn't lift a finger to help you. Why are you doing his bidding? And we should have known. It's on us. We should have known from the voice. You could tell it wasn't a real voice. But why are you doing Curtis Sliwa's bidding when he wouldn't lift a finger to help you? Idiot, fool. Why? How do you benefit? How do you benefit? If it makes you feel good, look at me, I got through on the radio. Diana, line 5, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Diana?
Hey, I just wanted to say that the whole drama at the detention centers is it's manufactured for
absolutely,
clicks and likes.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people who only get their information from these sound bites that they see on the mainstream media. So they will hear, oh, there's abuse at the ICE detention. Oh my God, there's abuse.
Absolutely.
Just people take that as absolute gospel. And it
Hey, Diana, I got to take a break, but I really don't care what's going on inside there. Do you? Be honest with me.
No, I don't. They don't belong here. They should go. And I'm the child of immigrants, legal immigrants.
Big difference there, right?
Big difference.
Diana, thank you for the lovely call. Folks, you can say, oh, Dominic, you're being insensitive. You should condemn what's going on at Delaney Hall. First of all, that's what you say is going on at Delaney Hall. We don't know that to be true. Come on, Democrats, get a life. I'm talking about Democrat elected officials. Get a life. Represent, stand for something. Anything rather than what you're doing now, the party of criminals. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
Almonte's Key Food, proudly serving communities throughout Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island for over 30 years. When you shop Key Food, you'll always find fresh products, great weekly specials, and exceptional personalized service. Visit at any of their Key Food stores at 8235 153rd Avenue, Lindenwood, New York, 935 Rosedale Road, Valley Stream, New York, and 6620 Avenue U, Brooklyn, New York.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And the story to watch out of Los Angeles, where Spencer Pratt has made a last-minute surge and might actually win in the race for L.A. mayor against Karen Bass, Democrat. You know, she was the Democrat that was in Africa on Biden's request at the time of the fires that took place. People still don't have their homes. She may lose. There's a strong possibility she'll win, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. And on The View today, asked if she thinks former President Biden would have been in a good place to serve another 4 years in office, Jill Biden says, quote, "Not from what I know now. It was so shocking to get that cancer diagnosis." Okay, so one of the top jobs of a wife, if you ask a man, is the role to be chief cheerleader. Right? Chief cheerleader. Certainly that's an answer I would give. One of your top duties is to be chief cheerleader for your husband. And so Jill Biden asked basically that same question in terms of what did you say to the president after he walked off that horrible debate stage, that horrible performance, and she said she wanted to be true, but to stand by her man.
I'm his wife. I've got to lift him up. So we go to the next event, and I'm thinking, what do I say that will lift him up? That is true. I want to say the things that are true. And so I said, you know, you answered every question. My mind's racing. You know,
that's a pretty low bar.
Well,
so the former First Lady conveniently, I'm not going to say changing the story now. I don't know what's the words I'm looking for, but it's amazing what one will do when you're pushing a book as she's doing right now. Coming up in just minutes, we're going to talk live to former Congressman Peter King. Let's go to Mel, line 3, Saratoga Springs. Mel, what's on your mind?
Good afternoon, Dominic. Thank you for taking my call. What I'd like to say in regards to what's going on over there in Jersey, all these leftist, libtard anarchists. You know, if I commit a crime I'm born and raised in Saratoga Springs, New York, about 30 miles north of Albany. I'm American, I'm black, all at 68 years of age. I was never a choir boy, but you know, after a while, you learn, and it's not conducive to your future if you keep up to what you're doing. But these people that come here, as soon as they step one foot across that border, they broke the law, and regardless if they're criminals or, you know, people who just came here because they were encouraged to come here by that corpse, that walking corpse, Joe Biden. And I really believe that he's going to Hollywood on it with that dementia crap. That son of a gun, he knows exactly what he's doing. You don't get to be that filthy rich by being a fool. He knows exactly. He's got to put on the act to keep himself from going to jail. So anyway.
Well, Mel, I got to take a break. You're right, though. You don't get to be rich being no fool. Folks, we've got to take a break. Coming up, one of the best segments I enjoy, former Congressman Peter King. Stay with us.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Yes, Congressman, I hear you. I hope you can hear me clearly. I guess we should start with one of the big stories that occurred just Sunday, 48 hours ago. Mamdani having the nerve, the audacity to skip the Israeli Day Parade. How offensive was it in your opinion?
It's offensive. It's also dangerous because basically what he's doing is the reasons he gave for not going was an attack on the Israeli government, an attack on Netanyahu, and that just feeds into the pro-Hamas demonstrations, the anti-Semitism in the city. This is one time above all. First of all, it's always important to go to those type of events, especially the Israel Day Parade in view of the anti-Semitism over the years. But it's critically important now when there's so much anti-Semitism in the city, when we've seen these violent demonstrations, when we've seen the threats, we've seen actually demonstrations outside temples, which get violent. You have the mayor himself, who has made very anti-Semitic remarks. To me, one way he could have done to begin to smooth that over, to make relations better, was to be at that parade and proudly take part in it. Excuse me. That's why I give Commissioner Tisch so much credit, because she said she would march. She had a bit of a cough here, and she would march proudly. And marching proudly was really a way, I thought, of sticking it to Mayor Mandami.
Absolutely. Do you see a scenario, or maybe it's just me, I see a scenario where often, as we know, Congressman King, police commissioners can use their platform if they want to and run for mayor. I really see her and a strong possibility as the first woman mayor of New York City. What do you think?
Well, I think she would be an ideal mayor. I actually know Jessica going back, I guess, now almost 20 years, when I was on the Homeland Security Committee, and I was working very closely with the NYPD and Ray Kelly. And Ray Kelly, I guess he recruited her almost right out of law school, and she was the youngest person in the room. She would be in a prominent place in the room when they were having the major security meetings. She was involved with the Lower Manhattan Security Initiative. That's the whole the camera system, downtown Manhattan. And she, again, was very knowledgeable, very composed. I'm saying that for someone who was, first of all, she's in a room full of cops. She was probably the only female, as I recall it, and she was certainly the youngest person in the room. And yet she handles herself with tremendous class, with composure, and obviously tremendous knowledge. And it's obvious from her job that she's been doing that she knows what it's like to be a job that the cops have. She knows what the job of the police department is, and she's done an outstanding job at it. And she has a quiet but firm way of expressing herself. I mean, she just very calmly said that she was, after the mayor went into his whole rant why he wasn't going to march, and she didn't take him on. She didn't get carried away. Just very calmly said that she would march, and she just put in the word proudly. And that, to me, one word was just perfect. It was absolutely the right meaning she was giving, the right message. So, no, could she be mayor? Yes, obviously she'd be, I think, a good candidate and a great mayor.
And you're correct, Congressman. Just the use of that one additional word said all that needed to be said. So Mamdani himself points to the fact that he let us know his hatred during the campaign. Like that's some valid reason for him to do what he did, stating that his views were stated during the campaign. Do you think that most New Yorkers really got it where this guy was coming from during the campaign?
I think because he was such a new candidate and so much gets caught up in the confusion, and we had, as you know, 3 candidates running for mayor, it was sort of a confusing situation. And no, I don't think they realized all that he was saying. And if they did, they thought maybe it was just something he was saying to get elected, or he was getting carried away a bit, globalize the Intifada. I thought it was disgraceful and shameful. But I can see the average New Yorker who's not focusing on it every day. Says, listen, things are bad here in the city. How bad can this guy be? He's a young guy. Let's give him a chance. And I think that is probably what got him elected as much as anything. That he was a new face. Things were not going well. Even though I have to say, in his last year in office, I thought Eric Adams did a very good job. But no, I don't think they fully appreciated it. But yeah, the other thing is, Dominic, I think though that too many did. I mean, if anyone knew what he was saying and still voted for him, how could they do it? How can you be in New York? How could you be an American and vote for someone who talks about the Intifada, who didn't say a word of protest when there were riots and demonstrations at Columbia and other schools, when Jews were being attacked in the streets, and yet he was so quick to criticize any other human rights violation that he was perceiving, but somehow it was open season on Jews. So, and then he also, the whole class warfare, where he talked about private single-family homes and going after people who were making more money than others. I mean, again, going against the whole American dream. And so I think not everyone realized what he was saying. Not everyone took him seriously, but enough did that they still shouldn't have voted for him.
Well, his pal, Curtis Lewa, has already announced that he's running again, and that's clearly a move to split the opposition vote, which in a scenario to benefit Mamdani, he would, be reelected. But I don't see any possible way, shape, or form that this man gets a second term. What do you think, Congressman King?
I would certainly hope not. I would spend, we saw in Chicago, they had a terrible mayor, and then they elected someone who was worse after that. So I don't know, maybe people are slow learners these days. I just don't see it, though. I mean, New York has always been special. As I said, I was born and raised in New York. I was born in Manhattan, raised in Queens, went to high school and college in Brooklyn. I was a Brooklyn Dodger fan, Met fan. My father was a cop, NYPD. So it's just, and New York is always, whether you agreed or disagreed, there was a certain style we all had. We understood each other. And he just not fit into that mold at all. I mean, I don't care whether it was Charlie Rangel or Rudy Giuliani. You can get along with them. I mean, the fact is that people from different backgrounds, somehow with all the rock'em sock'em style in New York, we managed to, most of all, be a New Yorker and be an American. And I just don't see that. Don't see that with Mamdani.
And it's interesting, Congressman King, because you are correct. Whether it was Giuliani versus Rangel, they could still do business with each other. Whether it's Peter King versus Rangel or whoever else on the other side, you guys could still do business with each other on behalf of the American people. But those days are gone. So Delaney Hall, you've got the governor of the state, Mikey Sherrill, going out there, knowing she's not going to get in, a photo op, and she accuses ICE of causing the violence. I don't understand, Congressman King, why are Democrat elected officials doing what they're doing?
Well, I particularly don't understand Mikey Sherrill. I mean, I knew her somewhat in Congress, and the image she tried to project was the Navy veteran. She was different from other Democrats. As I recall, she didn't even vote for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker. She was this moderate, right-of-center Democrat, common-sense Democrat. And then she becomes governor, and she's appearing and enabling and encouraging those rioters and demonstrators. And, she can say what she wants now. She didn't know it was going to get out of control. If you're an elected official and you go into a turbulent situation and you throw kerosene on the fire, you have to know what's going to happen. And again, I have not been in Delaney Hall, but I did, I guess, with Congressman Van Drew, who's a Republican from New Jersey, who had been a Democrat. He was elected as a Democrat. He's a dentist, as I recall. I was only there for one term with him, but I followed him since. And he did go through Delaney Hall. He said this stuff is all BS, that there was no hunger strike. The food is acceptable. It's a properly run detention facility. And now they're relying, these people, they have a few people on the inside who are giving stories about how bad it is. Well, if you get prisoners or detainees, you're always going to find someone who are complaining. And then you find out that so many of these demonstrators are from out of state. It shows how the whole thing, whether it's Minneapolis, whether it's now Newark, how this is planned by the anti-ICE people, the anti-government people, the pro-open borders people, the anti-Trump people. They are organizing this, and Mikey Sherrill, as a governor, it was really wrong for her. She has a lot to account for having any part in that. If she wanted to find out exactly what was going on, she could have, I'm sure, in a very civilized way, either gone to the president or gone to the Homeland Security Secretary, Mark Mullen, could have spoken to Tom Homan and asked for a briefing and calmly go in a back door without any publicity and take a look for herself. Now, I think Dominic, you've been around over the years. There's no such thing as a pretty jail. There's no such thing as a pretty detention facility. You can go in the best of them, and it's just a very bad feeling you get when you're in there. It's just the way it is. That's the nature of a detention facility. It's the nature of a prison. But to compare that to somehow to torture and starvation and all that they're talking about, brutality, is wrong. It's unfair, and it also, again, it's unfair to the good men and women of ICE who put their lives on the line for us every day and really are slandered and smeared, and it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful enough that the hardliners do it. What's even worse is to have elected officials who swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States doing anything to enable and to encourage those anti-ICE feelings.
Absolutely, Congressman King. I guess I'll close with this. America's big day is coming up soon, and all these entertainers now pulling out on President Trump. He says he may do a MAGA rally instead. And my point is, if you're going to embarrass the presidency of the United States of America by pulling out, then what other choice does he have? But how do you see this entire situation?
I think them just pulling out, when they agreed to go in, they knew what it was. And to me, I think someone got to them, and
exactly.
It advanced their careers. So now they're backing out on some kind of moral ground. No, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. If they didn't want to do it in the first place, that's one thing. To me, if you're asked to do something with the President of the United States, if at all possible, you should try to do it. If you can't, you don't do anything to ridicule or demean the office. There's plenty of time to criticize the president publicly, but you don't do it by turning down an invitation to basically entertain and take part in the country's 250th birthday.
Exactly, Congressman Peter King. As always, thank you so much for joining us.
And I don't want to get in trouble at home. My wife says she still loves you, so just so you know.
Send our regards to your lovely wife and your lovely family, Congressman. Thank you. Always a great honor to chat with you. Let's go back to your telephone calls. We see them all coming in, folks. 800-848-9222. Joe, line 2, Lynbrook. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, Dominic. Two subjects I want to touch on. Does Dr. Jill, and I use the word doctor loosely, try to tell us something we already didn't know about the former president?
Well, I think she's affirming from an insider's point of view. I think that's the way she's looking at it in terms of what was going on as the woman that was closest to the president of the United States.
You affirm it prior.
Right.
We all knew.
Right. Therein lies the problem.
Something wrong with him.
Okay, what was your other point, Joe?
Oh, let me get to L.A. It seems strange to me. Maybe I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but all of a sudden Spencer Pratt is surging, and all of a sudden a Dropbox is set on fire and ballots are burnt. They don't just go on fire by themselves.
Well, we'll see what happens. I hear you, but whenever folks bring that up, I say the train has already left the station. But we'll in terms of conspiracy against votes and so on. I'm not minimizing it, Joe. I'm saying let's just see what happens. It is time for a break, and we are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. I agree with Donna Marie in Philly. Donna Marie says, at Dominic TV, I was wondering, for our 250th anniversary celebration, President Trump should invite marching bands and local small bands that would love to entertain with patriotic music as well as their own music, etc., to get publicity. Not a bad idea, young lady. Donna Marie, thank you so much for the call. Let's go to Michael, line 5 in Warwick, New York. What's on your mind, Michael?
Hi, Dominic. Wow, I can't believe I actually reached you. Anyway, Dominic, I have a question and I have an opinion.
Okay, let's get to it, please. Let's get to it, Michael.
Is the reason for the anti-Semitism in America, do you think?
Michael, you said you wanted to make a statement. Please I'm short on time. I don't have time for this right now, Michael. What's the statement you want to make?
My statement is I live right next door to Curious Joel, which is the most densely populated Jewish community in the country. And, I am not anti-Semitic, but I don't believe for a minute.
Here we go. It's amazing to me, Michael, before even listening to you, when someone says, I'm not anti-Semitic, but that means the anti-Semitism is about to flow right out of your mouth. Go ahead.
But wasn't the correct way to put it. So I'm just going to try to justify my belief is that
please.
Why are the Hasidics not paying taxes? Why are they getting
Okay, you're done. Let's mark down that number to make sure he never gets through to me again in life. I don't want to talk to losers like that. Let's go to Vic, line 2 in New Jersey. Vic, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thank you very much for taking a call. Your show is great, and I just have a quick statement about these people backing out of the 250th anniversary of the country. First of all, they ought to be ashamed of themselves for turning down the invitation. And I know Trump is a big music fan. I mean, there's plenty of other acts that are 100%, backing this president that I'm sure would be happy to entertain.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Vic, why do you think they're doing it? I mean, they knew what time it was when they signed up for this.
I mean, they're doing it the same reason everybody else does what they do. They just want to make a statement, and they want to go against this president. I mean, he's the best president we've had as far as I'm concerned.
As far as I'm concerned as well.
Right. And everybody will just do anything to be against this guy. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm a musician myself, and I know there's plenty of other artists that would love to do this, and he should just get his people that book the entertainment and have somebody else sign up to do this, because I just think it would be great. And, your other caller mentioned having some local marching bands. I mean, yeah, that's great too. And there'd be plenty of time for them to chime in and do a performance, but they should have some national acts that should do this as well.
Right. Thank you for the call. Let's go to line 3, Rebecca in Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Rebecca?
Hi, Dominic. How are you? I just came on because I heard that guy say that Hasidics don't pay taxes. He doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. I just want to put it out there because he's slandering people. He doesn't know what he's saying. Of course they pay taxes.
Rebecca, that's why I cut him off. Wait, I'm like, make your point. That's why I cut him off. And I should have known, because he had this weird voice which almost didn't sound real. So I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I shouldn't have even engaged him. But go ahead, Rebecca.
Hey, we love you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Rebecca, wait, what was the point that you wanted to make?
I quickly just wanted to say, when he said that, I wanted to just add that not only is it not true, these Hasidics, I mean, they have very big families, they work, they pay taxes, they have businesses, they have to survive. It's just baloney, that's all.
Absolutely. I was in my tax guy's office yesterday, and I'll just say that he was on the phone with some clients, and they happened to be of the Hasidic community, and they were talking about handling their business taxes. So, Rebecca, you are correct. Folks, I guess I'm just a glutton for punishment here. Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been honoring America's heroes ever since. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I am back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Sacco and Feliz, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFeliz.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.